Hello, Netroots Nation. I wish I could be celebrating my first Netroots Nation as a United States Senator with you, right there, right now. I remember our last couple of Netroots together, Providence, Las Vegas. They were fun. But most of all, I wish I could be there in person to say thank you. Thank you very much. You know, I'm not with you because I'm back home in Massachusetts this weekend, helping out my friend Ed Markey. When something this important is on the line, I'm not taking anything for granted. But I'll tell you another big reason I'm disappointed to be missing the party. I heard who your keynote speaker is tonight. You know, after the financial crisis in 2008, I had this idea for how we could create a new consumer agency. It was a way to level the playing field for families and to reduce the risk of future crises. So I went around Washington and I spoke to a lot of people, and they told me two things. The first, this is a great idea. We could actually make a difference for middle-class families. And they told me a second thing. They said, don't do it. They said that the big banks would amass an army of lobbyists, bigger than anything we'd ever seen, to defeat this agency. So don't even try. But things were different the first time I met Senator Jeff Merkley. Jeff wasn't scared of taking on a tough fight. He came to Washington for a reason, to do his best to give hardworking families a real shot. Jeff wanted to see consistent, across-the-board accountability from the big banks. He was a tireless advocate for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, for getting rid of tricks and traps hidden in the fine print of mortgages, of credit cards, of student loans. He fought to fix our housing market, and he pushed for a strong Volcker rule to protect boring commercial banking from outrageous risks. Jeff not only has the right progressive values, but he's willing to take on the tough fights. Look, he won't toot his own horn because he's a humble guy and because he cares more about results than about attention. But if you're looking for one of the strongest progressive leaders in the Senate, it's Jeff Merkley. For 4 years, he's been the lead sponsor of INDA to protect Americans from discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity. He's been a key voice for a constitutional amendment to reverse Citizens United to ensure that the government works for the people, not for powerful corporations. And he's been leading the fight for filibuster reform to break the partisan gridlock and to ensure more up or down votes on legislation that could actually improve people's lives. He's made a real difference in bringing these issues to the forefront. Jeff might not run to the spotlight, but don't think our opponents haven't noticed what he's doing. Taking on the big banks and corporate super PACs has made Jeff a big target. Karl Rove has already said that Oregon might be next. But here's something I know. A year ago, the big banks and powerful interests were lining up against us. I stood on the stage at Netroots Nation in Providence, and I asked for your help. Boy, did you deliver. We raised more money from small donors than any Senate campaign in the history of the country. We knocked on more doors than any campaign in the history of Massachusetts. We turned out a record 73.3% of all eligible voters. And let me be clear, I didn't build that. You did. You know, in every fight, we've been there together. You and I. And now I am counting on you to be there in the fight for Jeff Merkley. I could go on and on all day about the amazing things that Jeff is doing. But I hear there's a big karaoke party later tonight, and I don't want to make you late. So I'll just say, thank you, Netroots Nation. And please join me in welcoming my mentor and my friend, Jeff Merkley.